Welcome, everybody. We're here to talk to you today about 10 networking tips to successful recruiting. Oh, recruiting is one of the most important skills to learn in order to grow your business. To attain time freedom and financial freedom is to leverage your time and efforts by building a strong and secure team. Now, how do you build a strong and secure team? You need to find time to make a commitment to teach, manage, and train them. That is called sponsoring your new recruit by providing information and following up consistently. Ideally, you want your prospect to actually recruit themselves when the timing is right. Most importantly, keep your approach and your strategy simple and duplicatable. Let's go to tip number one. Have patience. Recruiting is a process which begins with building a relationship with your prospect. And let me tell you, that starts with a conversation. During that conversation, you listen for their needs, whether it's health and wellness issues or financial stress, and dribble a resolution at them by planting seeds on the technology and opportunity. And I want to say, as you dribble them the first time, you do not mention LifeWave and you do not mention uh, specifically the patches. When planting a garden, you start by planting seeds. You cultivate the ground and water the seeds, then reap the benefits of your harvest. The same applies to building your team when networking. Timing is important to every prospect. With LifeWave, we can plant seeds on the benefits of our technology and on our opportunity, giving your prospects something to think about, and that is how can they improve their quality of life. Tip number two, so important, be in the right mindset. Most people are in a comfort zone. They live pay to pay, they lack vision, and they lack motivation, and yet they wish things were better. Look for the people who are searching for and need an upgrade in their life. You share information and take your prospect from being unaware to aware that there is something out there that would improve their quality of life. Don't ever push anyone to get started if they're not ready. The right people will show up when the time is right for them. Be in the right mindset when prospecting to avoid negativity and frustration. You know it. They're going to know that LifeWave has exactly what they need: innovative technology and a powerful financial opportunity. Tip number three, improve yourself. Look at the members on your team and evaluate their success. You're working the same company, the same products, and the same compensation plan. Look upline, look downline, look across the line, and you'll see the only difference is you. When prospecting, become the best messenger, delivering knowledge on the incredible technology and the incredible opportunity. Remember that it's your energy, your excitement, your enthusiasm that will attract others. Why? Because people are just not looking at the company, they're looking at you. So pay close attention to the vibes you're putting out there. You are your best investment. So invest time and effort in improving yourself. I challenge you, look in the mirror and prospect the person you see in that mirror and ask yourself, would you want to be sponsored by you? There's always room for improvement. Tip number 4, be consistent and persistent. If you find yourself frustrated from time to time, remember to be consistent and persistent on a daily basis and do simple things. Although daily basics may sometimes seem to not make much of a difference, over a period of time, they compound and they'll lead you to the road of success. Convert basics into a daily habit. You know, if you do something 3 times, after that third time, it becomes a habit automatically. Remember to connect with 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, and invite 3 people a day to one of our Zoom trainings. Why? Those trainings are incredible. Be consistent and persistent for greater success. Focus on a proven action plan. Don't reinvent the wheel. Tip number 5. I love this. Quitting is not an option. We're all excited at the start of building a business. Focus on what steps you get positive results to avoid frustration and from becoming discouraged. Continue to follow the steps that are proven to work, and I guarantee you, you will get to where you want to be. Don't try to fix something that's not broken. Stay strong enough, long enough. Stick with the plan that has proven itself to be successful. Master those basics every day because they work. The only way to fail in network marketing is to quit. Don't allow quitting to destroy your dreams of success. Always remember, quitting is never an option. Now, I've talked about 5 tips. I'm going to turn it over to my partner in business, David, who's going to go over 5 absolute incredible tips. You should all take some notes.
Great job, Lynda. Let me get this out of the way here. Oh, it's not going away, so. Oh, thank you very much. That's it. Let me get back here, and I apologize. All right, so tip number 6, train by example. So your prospects are watching you. So stay alert on the way that you address their personal situations. And as you go through the recruiting process, while deciding if they want to join your business, they're wondering, 1, can I do what you're doing? 2, do I want to do what you do? And number 3, do I have the time to do what you do? It's your responsibility to remind them the manner in which you approach them with a simple question: what did I do with you? You casually mention something like you were excited about the opportunity to supplement income. You patch them to validate the technology that you sent, and you sent them a video. And of course, you followed up with them. You have now trained your future brand partner the simple steps to recruiting, demonstrating a process of simple duplication. Tip number 7, qualify and never prejudge. Network marketing requires effort, desire, and a strong commitment. Evaluate your prospects first and seek out those willing and ready to commit. Lock arms with those who want to be on your journey with you and invest your time and effort in helping them. Remember, Those you think will, they're not going to do it. They won't. Those you think won't, will do it. Those you think can, they can't do it. And those that you think can't, they can do it. Never make the mistake of who you think may be the ideal candidate. Often it's those that you never thought would be interested that are usually are. Simply share what you're doing with everybody without prejudging them. The connection you make can lead to a greater opportunity. Tip number 8, think like a recruiter. Now, you know that recruiting in network marketing is no different than recruiting in a corporate world. A recruiter in the corporate world looks for qualified candidates who would be a good fit for the job. You're looking for the right person for the role who would fit into the structure and growth of your organization, adding value to the team and enjoying the process as the team grows. Get better to know your ideal prospect and seek them out. Consider wearing a different hat. Get into the recruiter's mindset. Number 9, share your story. One of the greatest strengths in recruiting lies in the art of storytelling. Sharing stories allows you to effectively communicate and forge connection with potential candidates while delivering impactful messages. Inspiring and emotional. Stories that have power of inspiring and invoking emotions and motivate. When individuals identify with a character in the story, they tend to form a stronger emotional bond. Real life experiences. Incorporate genuine stories, whether they're from your own experience or those of your team members, into a conversation and communication for a more compelling effect. It's important to remember how fortunate we are to have access to an incredible testimonial that we can and should share from patchtheway.com. And you know that there are a lot of good testimonials in there. Okay, keep your discussions to a minimum. You can see this guy, he's just talking so much, he's just spewing everything out. Okay? He's doing word vomit.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right. So pause and reflect before you respond and take a moment to gather your thoughts. Be mindful of time. Keep your contributions brief and to the point. You want to focus on the quality. Prioritize sharing value insight over volume. Ask questions. Encourage others to share their perspective, creating a balanced conversation. You can always use the acronym FORM, which is family, occupation, recreation, and money. Practice active listening. Concentrate fully on the speaker, responding thoroughly or thoughtfully. And I have a blank there. Hold on one second. I can't get that. But just remember that you need to practice a mindful communications as a result to deepen the conversation and a more fulfilled relationship. Number 10, handling objections positively. It is inevitable that you will have people that will tell you no in networking. How you deal with that no makes a major difference in your business. Never take rejection personally. Their decision has to do with them, not you. Allows Always handle yourself with grace, composure, and confidence. It may not be the right time for them. They may not be interested in them. They may simply want to sit back and watch how you progress. A no right now doesn't mean no in the future. And I'll give you a good example. In another company, there was an individual that tried to get a family member, show them the business. And this person was successful, but not at the point that they got to later on. And the sister always was saying, no, 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 no. Well, when this individual became highly successful, the sister was saying, well, why didn't you tell me this before? I want to get in. So again, it's about the right timing. Think of rejection as as a learning opportunity. It's a chance to review and assess your interactions, and determine what you may want to do differently. Avoid wasting precious time.
Focus.
Focus on people who are interested, not on those who aren't. And we do that a lot if you think about it. Think about the people that, oh, he's going to get in, they're going to get in. Oh, yep, another week, and then you call them up again. Oh, aren't you getting in? You want to try it again? Okay, yeah, let me get you some patches. You can try it again. Focus on the people that are interested. In summary, to recruiting. Recruiting begins with that initial conversation. You're going to build a rapport and identify the needs of your prospect. Include positive personality and personal information in your strategy to connect with a prospect. Be excited, enthusiastic, and energized. People want to get to know you before they want to know about what you do. First impressions matter. Recruiting is the core to building your business. It's not about finding people who want to buy from you or join your team. It's about building a relationship with those who share a genuine interest in success by identifying what motivates others and by putting their interests first. Be that person your prospect is able to connect with and relate to while showing professionalism and confidence. And what I want to do is I want to
The
share this
reality of
video.
life is that we will all hear more no's than we hear yeses. In the summer of 2009, I was 19 years old, working a summer position at Target between my freshman and sophomore year at undergraduate school. I was working in the women's clothing department, and I noticed a lady staring at me from across the aisle. I figured she probably had a few screws loose, so I attempted to ignore her very intense stares. She eventually manages to make her way a little bit closer and closer to me where I was working until she eventually walks up to me and says hello. I say the famous Target quote, which is, "Hi, may I help you find something?" She then asks me, "Were you born in this country?" And I was immediately offended. And I said, "Yeah, I was born in this country." And then she says, "Do you have any kids?" I said, "No, I don't have any kids." She then asked me if I was married, and then I said, "No, ma'am, I am not married." She says, "How old are you?" I said, 19. "May I help you find something?" She then says, "You are the most beautiful girl I have seen." And I said, "Oh, thank you." I didn't work that much on my makeup, but I did the best I could, but thank you. And then she says, "I think you could be the next Miss USA." And I stare at her in pure disgust and said, "Pageants? You're telling me pageants, like Sandra Bullock, Miss Congeniality. Pageants? You think I should compete in pageants? I'm in the Army, okay? We don't do pageants in the Army." She then asked me to meet her at Starbucks the very next day before my next shift at Target. And she just wanted to do a little bit of explaining when it comes to what pageants is. And apparently I was a pretty open-minded 19-year-old because I actually agreed to meet her the very next day. The next day, she brought this foot-tall stack of pageant books and proceeds to convince me to enter into a state pageant 3 months later. For those who do not know, when it comes to Miss USA, you have to win your state first, okay? So 3 months later, I compete in my first pageant, and I lose. I go back the second year, compete in the state pageant. I lose. Go back the third year, compete in the state pageant and lose. Go back to 4th year. Compete in the same pageant and lose. I go back to 5th year, y'all. Compete in the state pageant and lose. But guess what? I go back to 6th year. Guess what happens? I lose. I called her on the phone and said, you told me I could be the next Miss USA. And she says, Deshauna, keep working, don't quit, keep going back. And in June of 2015, she passes away from leukemia. 6 months later, in December 2015, I win Miss District of Columbia, USA. And 6 months after that, in June of 2016, I become the first soldier to win Miss USA. Giving up is the birth of regret. At times, our purpose drops in our laps as if the heavens threw it by accident. I ask only one thing of you all today after you leave this building. Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret. As giving up is the birth of regret. After you walk out this door, you will receive 100 doors shut, slam in your face. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you no, or telling you, thank you for your application, but we regret to inform you that we've chosen a different candidate for this job. You will sit in 100 different interviews and you will not get the job. The reality of life is that we will all hear more no's than we hear yeses. And we will fail a lot, and I mean a whole lot. But what I ask of you today is to not take no for an answer. Don't be afraid of no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decided to quit before the clock strikes 12. You can ask anyone, friend, family, anybody. I love a good no. Please tell me no. Telling me no is like adding fuel to a fire that is now set ablaze because of your single no. I love additional reasons to work harder. Please give me a reason. So today I challenge you to fight, to work, to not stop here, to believe so heavily in your aspirations that you too will not fear the word no, but instead you will choose to welcome it. Thank you.
All right. Now, I want to thank you. As Deshauna thanked you for her video, we want to thank you for our training. Always remember that you have a group of people behind you. For those that are new or have not gotten involved with us, this is our group, part of our group that went to Dallas this last year for the convention. You can also reach us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, WhatsApp. We also have Zoom. We have Zooms frequently. You can also check out patchtheway.com, which is a great website to get a lot of information and just learn what you need to learn. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing and answer any questions that anybody may have.
Great job.
Okay.
You guys did a great job, Lynda and David, and great points. And I really, really love that video you guys just put up. I can't believe she cried. Yeah, 6 times.
It wasn't
7
me,
times.
or I was like,
Seven times.
7 years.
7 years. That's unreal. But that it's so true with us with network marketing. You know, at this point, we're like, go ahead, give me a no, because we're just going to work with, where you are. I mean, most of the time, a no doesn't mean no. It just means not this time.
Right.
Timing is everything.
Timing.
Right.
Yep. But all the points
great
you
job,
made,
guys.
it was really great. Really great.
Thank you.
Are we recorded now?
Mr. Ed?
I was practicing active listening. I really like that number 9 rule or tip.
Telling the story.
Because a lot of the times, and we know this when we train and teach people, is that people love to talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So something that I like to practice is listening to people and not butt in when I have a story I got to tell you because, oh, I hurt my arm too, and I hurt it, and I did this, that, and the other, and you go for 20 minutes, and the person's like, I wasn't even finished telling you what was wrong with me. So that practice listening, man, that hit me hard, and I think that we should all be accustomed to that because we know that everybody loves to talk. Everybody loves to tell themselves about themselves, right? And
Right.
so if we practice listening, we would get so much. Doctors, for instance, when you go to a clinic, they give you a questionnaire that's about 1,000 pages, right? What are they doing there? They're asking you questions about your history. And when they see you, I always wonder, did they read that questionnaire that they just gave me, or they just like to put it on the side? Because they're getting a lot of information. And I think that we should use that, not of course as doctors, but just asking people questions about themselves that will get them. What you're doing, you pre-qualifying when you're asking questions because they're telling you about themselves. They're telling you if they're lazy. They're telling you if they want to do this business or not. And so I really love that section and thank you, David and Linda. Yes, did a wonderful job, and we'll make this will be a really great video.
Yes.
And thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Love
And
it.
I thought the video played a good part with the training,
Sure did. I agree.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
Never
definitely.
give up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Took her
Yeah.
7 years to do it, but she did it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Quitting is not an option.
Exactly. Giving up for me is not an option because the only one you're giving up first on is you.
Right.
So like that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you give up on yourself?
Exactly.
Very good.
Okay. Any
Any
other questions, comments? Hi, Anna. Hi, Jim.
I'm sorry I was late on that, but I look forward to seeing the beginning to end. That was fantastic. Very helpful to me, I'll tell you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice.
So David, why don't you close us? And I have some questions that I want to ask afterwards.
Okay. Well, folks, we thank you for joining us today. We know that you have other options that are available, so we deeply appreciate that you got involved with us today. Get back to the person that invited you to this meeting, to this Zoom for training, and we send blessings to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.